All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking something big. On August 7th, 2025, OpenAI unleashed its brand new model, GPT-5. So we're going to break down what exactly this is and what makes it tick.
So right out of the gate, OpenAI is making a huge claim. They're calling GPT-5 their smartest, fastest, most useful model yet. The goal? To put expert-level intelligence in everyone's hands. I mean, that's a pretty big promise, right?
But let's get real. Beyond the marketing slogans, what does this actually mean for you? When you're sitting there trying to write an email, or build some code, or just get a straight answer to a hard question. That's what we're going to unpack.
So, first things first, how does this thing actually work? Well, the big leap forward with GPT-5 isn't just one single upgrade. See, the secret sauce is how the whole system now works together. It's a totally new way of handling your requests.
This is the core idea right here, a unified system. The best way to think about it is like a workshop. You've got a fast apprentice for the simple jobs and a master craftsperson for the really tough ones. And in the middle, you have this super smart foreman, the smart router, who looks at your request and instantly knows who to give it to.
So here's how it plays out. It's actually super simple. You ask a question. Instantly, that smart router analyzes it. Is this easy, or does this need some serious thought? Then it just sends your question to the right brain for the job. And the best part? You don't even see it happening. It's all seamless in the background.
Okay, so that's the tech, but what does it feel like to use? Let's start with something most of us do, creative writing. GPT-5 is built to be a much better creative partner, helping you go from a rough idea to something that actually, well, resonates.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at this. The prompt was to write a poem about a widow in Kyoto finding her late husband's socks. Now, GPT-4o on the left, it's fine, but it tells you the emotion. She weeps and doesn't tell. But look at GPT-5 on the right. It shows you. It gives you these incredible images, calling the socks black flags of a country that no longer exists. Wow, that's a huge difference.
And OpenAI's own breakdown kind of says it all. The GPT-5 version just nails the emotional punch. It uses these really strong metaphors and clear images. It's the classic difference between just telling someone a story and actually making them feel it.
And this isn't just about poetry, not by a long shot. In coding, it now has an eye for aesthetics. It gets spacing and design, creating beautiful websites from a simple prompt. And for something serious like health, it acts more like a partner, asking you follow-up questions to give much safer, more useful answers.
Now this brings us to what might be the single most important upgrade of all. It's about trust. It's one thing to be creative, but can you actually rely on the answers you're getting?
And the numbers here are just staggering. When GPT-5 uses its thinking mode for complex questions, it produces 6 times fewer hallucinations. You know, that's the AI term for when it just makes stuff up. 6 times better. That is a massive leap in reliability.
And if that wasn't enough, check this out. When that deep thinking mode kicks in, the answers are about 80% less likely to have a factual error. That's a direct result of that smart foreman system we talked about. It's giving the hard problems to the expert brain. And here's something that's just as crucial. It's more honest. You know how older models, if you ask them an impossible question, would just confidently make up an answer? Well, GPT-5 is trained to know its limits. If it can't do something, it'll just tell you. No more bluffing. So, does all this lab stuff translate to, real work? Well, this chart says it all. It pits GPT-5 against older models and even human industry experts. And look at that. In about half of these complex tasks, GPT-5 is performing at or even better than a human expert. This isn't just a toy anymore.
Okay, and now for a change that I think everyone who uses AI on a daily basis is gonna appreciate. It's not just smarter, it's also just better to talk to.
They're finally tackling what they call the sycophancy problem. You know that thing where the AI is a little too agreeable, a little too eager to please? That's a great idea. Well, they've trained it to be less of a yes man. They've cut those kinds of replies from over 14% down to less than 6%. The whole conversation just feels more thoughtful and, frankly, more real.
All right, so you've seen how it thinks, how it performs, and how it talks. The big question left is how do you get your hands on it? Well, the answer couldn't be simpler. It's already here. If you're signed into ChatGPT, GPT-5 is your new default model. It's replaced the older versions, and that smart routing system automatically decides when to use its deep thinking mode for you.
Now, what you get exactly depends on your plan. If you're a free user, you get a taste of it, but with limits before it switches to a smaller model. Plus users get much higher limits, so it'll pretty much be your default. And if you're a Pro subscriber, you get unlimited GPT-5, plus access to an even more powerful GPT-5 Pro model for your toughest job.
And really, this quote from OpenAI kind of sums up the whole goal. They want to shift the entire experience. It should feel less like you're talking to an AI and a lot more like you're just chatting with a super helpful, super smart friend who happens to have a PhD.
So that leaves us with one big, fascinating question. Now that this expert-level intelligence is more accurate, more honest, and easier to work with than ever before, what are we all going to create with it? The tools are here. The next chapter? Well, that's up to us. Thanks for watching The Explainer.